4 of Survivor. We're still alive in both of our pools. What we're going to do is we're going to recap the state of each pool, and then we're going to, we're going to talk about the rules again, and then we're going to get right into the picks for this week. Now, again, go into the Discord channel. I want to get a little more action in there. Give us your opinions, give us some takes, give us some whatever, because we're kind of following along. We're doing this for the first time. Again, I've had a million years of experience in football Survivor, but baseball, this is our first try. So we're going to see. What we did last week, as you recall, is we split up our exposure. So this is the pool with only one where you can't make any mistakes. You have to have, your team has to, just to go over the rules again, your team has to go 500 or better for the week, and you can only take a team once. So in this particular pool, you can only mess up one team. In another pool, you could have one bad week. So in this pool, not this one, weekly peak summary. So in this pool, they started with 179, and now they are down to 120. Last week, let's go to week 3. Last week, 46% of the people took the Braves, of whom we were one of them. And then the only team that got knocked out were the Angels. So 10% of the people disappeared. We were part of the chalk that took the Braves. In the other pool, again, we have one strike available. And actually, there are 5 people who are now eliminated. So 5 people have 2 strikes. They're out. 66 people are left, and 19 have 1 strike. And in that one, we took Seattle. Let's take a look and see what weekly summary breakdown doesn't really have it, although I can't quite get to there. It did have it up here during the week, but I guess it's gone now. Nonetheless, so we are now. What's that? So
it was a scary start last week.
What's that?
I said it was a scary start last week with the 2 road losses to start Seattle.
Yeah. So now we're in week 4. And what I do always is I send Bobby kind of a list of potential candidates. And again, this is what we're looking for in a pool like this. All right. We'd like to have a team that's, number one, that's only playing an even number of games. And the reason for that is just the way the math works. Is it's just a hell of a lot easier going 500 than better than 500. That's a better way to describe it. And also, as far as normal Survivor theory, you want to take the team, that's got a good chance to advance, but also a team that you might not want to use in the future. And we have been pretty kind of chalky with that, and so far so good. I do have a fear of running out of teams, but we'll talk about that.
One thing we've noticed is that even other people picking teams, that they're picking chalk too. They're picking the other best teams. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Somebody the Dodgers were popular the week before last. A couple people played them last week. There's a lot of people picking the. I don't see a lot of people picking the very the very 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 medium level teams.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, Sheets.
Yeah. So and there's one other thing that we have to keep in mind for this one pool, this Run Your Pool, is that this pool on All-Star Week is like sadistic, and they have you make a pick, even though the teams are only playing like 3 games before they go to the All-Star break. Mm-hmm. So we identified a couple of teams that we wanted to save for that week. So we have to make sure we never take them. So here we go. Like, for example, like we're looking at the 7 games. This is a 5-gamer that I want to get back to because this is Baltimore is like at Nationals at home against the Tigers. Like if there was no good 6-game set, this could be a decent gamble. But let's go through again. I identified three options, and we'll just talk about them. So the first one I identified. See, this one's 6 games, but anytime you have 3 games against the Tampa Bay Rays, no thanks. So here's the first one. So we have Cleveland. So Cleveland is playing 3 games at Detroit and 3 games against the Marlins. So I originally put them down as kind of a decent candidate play, and then when I looked at like the rest of the board, there weren't that many good plays. So they kind of became like an extremely good candidate play. Before we get to the others, like what do you think of this in general?
Yeah, I think I think that's the absolutely the most logical team to pick. The issues I have with it, if there are any, is one, you're doing it. You get only one Bieber start in there, which again, he hasn't looked great this year, so maybe that's not the worst thing. That worries me a little bit. And the only other worry that I have is that I don't know that Miami is necessarily bad. The teams they lose to seem to be in the. I still am unsure of where I rank. I don't think Miami's good, but they've been pesky early in the year. But these are just poking holes to try and see if there's anything else we can do. But it does seem like clearly the best option. And I don't think we should ever deviate from the 6-man thing if we can help it. And if we have to, I would always go with teams playing 7 games, not playing 5 games.
Well, yeah, if that's possible. Hold on a second.
Well, that's what we've got this week, and that's why I mentioned because I do think that 5 game is tempting with the Orioles.
Yeah, but you need a little more. Yeah, you need a little better chance. Like you need
7. Give me 4 out of 7 in that with those same teams, and maybe we're talking. But I don't think I can quite sell myself on 5 games unless it's a really like. And even that, I actually don't know if there's a way I could sell myself on it. To be honest with you,
that's a good point.
But I do think Cleveland. But maybe we could try and find a way. Is there any way we can get different because we know Cleveland is going to be? I mean, there's no way Cleveland isn't owned by half the teams at least.
Well, it's very interesting because I have a team. So my favorite is not Cleveland. So we're gonna get to it in a minute. Okay. So you have Colorado. That's 7 games. Detroit. So Detroit, we're not quite ready to have to take Detroit yet. Eventually, maybe we will, but we don't have to yet. Astros, we either already played or in either case, they're 3 games at the Braves. The Royals, not we don't quite have to take them, but like this is the type of setup, by the way, that like in week 23 or something like that, we're gonna have to look at. You know what I mean? Like, but at this point, I don't think so. Not yet for Kansas City. Angels 7 games, Dodgers 7 games. The Marlins, not ready yet. We're just not ready to take that kind of risk yet. Yeah. Brewers 3 at home against the Red Sox, not the worst. Then they go into the Mariners. I mean, if I'm writing these down, I'm putting it as a candidate play, but they're just not going to be as good as Cleveland for openers.
I actually don't mind the Brewers. They were really high for me of the teams that I looked at. So
all right, so we'll keep them as a candidate play.
Yeah.
So Brewers and Cleveland so far. Then we go Minnesota. So Minnesota at Boston, which is scary, but they do have the 3 games home against the Nationals. They didn't quite make it for me. Did they make it for you?
No, I mean they're on my list, but they're beneath Milwaukee for me. But they're they're in consideration. I mean, part of it is my lack of belief that these Red Sox are actually very good. And look, they get the Nationals for 3 games. That's all you can really ask for. I mean, and what's funny is we did the video and people made some comments last time, which I love. We love any comments, but it's funny. People are like, people don't realize Detroit is scary this year, and look at how pesky the Nationals are. Well, these teams are 5-11 or whatever. You know what I mean? Right, to be as scary as they want. They lose baseball games. But yes, they're on my list. They're just beneath Milwaukee for me.
All right, Mets 7 games. So I think the Yankees, are probably, I don't want to say the most likely winners, but I just have to believe that there's going to be a better chance to take the Yankees in the future. I think they're a candidate play, though. You know what I mean? Like I put them as a candidate play. 3 games home against LA is always appealing. And at Toronto, remember they get to benefit from the good park also, like at Toronto.
Right.
So what do you think about the Yankees this week?
Well, actually, they're not at Toronto. They get both games at both series.
Oh, they're both at home. Oh, okay. Well,
which is even better.
Yeah.
So I think that if you had to rank them, you'd have the Yankees. Like in terms of teams I feel better about, I think I have the Yankees a tiny bit ahead of Minnesota, which feels weird because it's a much tougher matchup for the Yankees. I mean, you have 3 teams that are basically all playoff contenders. But the 6 games at home feels like they should be able to get 3 of them. They don't go 2-4 on these homestands very often. The teams that give them trouble tend to be in the AL East, which you do have the Blue Jays coming in, so they could lose 2 out of 3 there. I don't think the Angels are coming in and sweeping them. So I think that they're interesting, but I would have them, they're still below probably a little below Milwaukee for me as of right now.
Oakland, no thanks. Philly, 7 games. Pittsburgh, 7 games. San Francisco, 7 games. Seattle, used in one, and of them, and I think that I don't think we need to be messing with Brewers and Cardinals.
Yeah.
So yeah, no thanks. Cardinals, we cannot take. Again, we have to remind ourselves because this team you have to save for All-Star Week.
Right.
This is the team that we're saving.
Good because they really struggled. So, no.
What?
They struggled so far, so it's probably a good thing.
Right. Tampa we already used. All right. So talk me on. I think Texas is the best play. All right. So I'm getting 2 games with DeGrom. Okay, because he pitches tonight. One of them being home against Oakland. So for me, I mean, I looked at Texas as the best play. Definitely alongside of like Cleveland or whatever. But what's scary about it is that, again, I already looked ahead to Texas's game 2, and Texas game 2 tomorrow they'd be an underdog. You know what I mean? Like but that would be the game they'd be the underdog. They'll be Evaldi on the road at Kansas City. They'll be an underdog. So that's what so they won't be favored all season.
I see that they're an underdog. That seems odd.
Yeah, I have it over here under tomorrow's lines. Says KC. Oh, they're not an underdog actually. It's minus 110. Sorry.
Yeah.
So they're about to pick them. So that's not the end of the world. So I actually do like Texas. The only thing I would say about Texas that would get me off of them is because it's possible that they're going to be really good. And if they're going to be really good, we could use them even later when, you know what I mean? Even when they're not playing the A's, for example.
One, yes, I think that they're going to be good. And because of the moves they made in the offseason, you can count on them acquiring more stuff. The biggest thing, though, why I have an issue with playing them this week, to play them without their best player is a very, very, it just feels like a very strange move. Even though the matchups are nice and all that, I feel nervous about playing them without their best player. And I think that does make a big difference in baseball when Texas really, like, part of why I think they'll be good is they've got like 6 guys I like in the lineup, and everybody else is a platoon guy for them, basically. But they have one of the elite players at 2 positions, at catcher and at shortstop. I'm sorry, second base and shortstop. When you take away Corey Seager, I just feel very strange about betting them on a week where they don't have their best player. I know it's baseball, I know all that, but Corey Seager means a ton to this team offensively. Even just him being in the lineup in baseball, like, the guys being in the lineup, make a difference whether or not they're even hitting sometimes. I actually think that's the part that scares me the most with them. That's my biggest fear. And the fact that I think they're going to get better as the year gets on. At the same time, with the 2 starts from DeGrom, it's kind of hard to ignore that. But we have wild card Heaney, who might go out there, twice and give away games, or he might go out there and just make it the easiest win ever. You know what I mean? If you don't know what you're going to get. So that's where I'm a little bit worried with Texas. They're going
to be low owned.
I 100% agree with you, especially because I think these other people will have the same secret thought. Maybe.
Yeah. So we're sort of on the same page. Like we both like Cleveland. It's funny. I didn't think about the Brewers as much, but I definitely think that I would consider that. But I probably want to argue to upgrade Texas over the Brewers.
I think Texas is statistically a better play than the Brewers are. With the exception of it feels very strange when you can only use a team once to use them without their best player. And not only that, one of the best players in baseball. Like, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, but that's all factored into the, to the odds now.
Well, yeah, but the odds aren't telling you that you need to play them. They're just going to tell you need to play them when DeGrom pitches. Every other game should be.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
So, yeah.
What game? What am I worried about with playing Texas? So I'd be worried about games 2 and 3, I suppose, in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And maybe there'll be one bad start before DeGrom mops up in game 6 of it or set. But to have DeGrom 2 out, you know what I mean? Like 2 starts, it just seems like
you want to go that direction, yeah. And also, by the way, and on the flip side of that, Sheets, the argument for doing that now is that we don't know if DeGrom's going to be pitching halfway through the year. We don't know if
that's a really good point, actually.
And that might be a really good case for what. I think we've sold ourselves on this because I'm sort of coming around to Texas being the really good play.
So how do you want to do this though? So if we're going to play, I guess we're going to play Cleveland and Texas, right?
Yeah.
How do you want to break this up? Like how do you? And it's funny. Jack and I, we talk about NFL. We always like struggle with this. Like, do you play the lower owned, more aggressive team on the in the pool where you need to get your entry a little stronger,
Right.
or do you play the more aggressive one on the one where you have a little more room and try to make them both sort of equal? Right. Choice A, if you want to keep the stronger, is to play Texas and to run your pool. If you wanted to kind of make them a little easier, not easier, but whatever, maybe you play. Maybe I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Here's the interesting thing. Going forward, I think Texas is going to be a team you want to use more than Cleveland, unless Bieber turns everything around. That's the truth. I think Texas is the team that you want more for the long term, unless DeGrom gets hurt. So I would say that I would use them as more of a gambly pick, and it's not even that gambly. Like when you look at them, they're playing.
But we know it's a gambly pick. The question is, which pool do we put it in?
I think that it's pretty clear to me that you use them in the pool where we have a strike already. That's okay. What I would say. That's my strategy. I don't know. You know Survivor better than I do.
No, that's always a question: is whether to make the stronger, or to make them kind of similar.
Let's go ahead. Well, I think that does make the stronger. Maybe not for this week, but it depends on, I guess.
No, the point is the Texas play is the attempt to make an entry strong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you get away with it, then you're strong. That's the only point. That's the only point that I made.
But is that even the case? Because you're technically shouldn't we factor in which teams are actually better between Texas and Cleveland? And I think that they are really, really close. They're actually basically identical. The only difference is when Texas has DeGrom, you're going to feel better about those two DeGrom starts than you are about anybody from Cleveland, until Bieber turns it around. So maybe that is maybe it's not making it as much stronger. It's more to get off the board. I do think there's some there's always high variance in baseball. Cleveland could struggle.
So here's my question again. Same question. So let's just say it's to get off the board. Which pool would you think it's more important to get off the board? The one where we have a strike already, or the one where we don't?
I would say it's the one we have the strike already.
So let's do that then. So in Run Your Pool, we're going to go to Cleveland.
Okay.
All right. The game I picked is already in progress.
No way.
Oh no. Let's go back to this. It says no pick. Deadline passed.
What the hell? How is that possible? It said.
Oh, is it because there was a game that started at 11 o'clock?
It didn't even start.
Hang on, I'm gonna text him. Well, this is interesting. That would be annoying. We just lost.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It could be in there. Let's see. Weeks go from the first regularly scheduled game on Mondays. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, we suck.
Well, I mean, they can do something. The game hasn't even started. It's going to be rain delayed anyway. Can we ask them if there's any way to get it?
I'm going to try. Hold on a minute.
How about our other one too?
No, that should be fine.
Fuck.
Let's see.
That's tilting.
It is.
And it's not like we weren't here and ready. Like we could have done the pick and that's really irritating.
So in any case,
well, I guess we can. I mean, are we gonna? Can you Sheets, when you write in, will you fire in what our pick is, just in case?
We want to take
Seattle or whatever, Texas,
Cleveland.
Cleveland over there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the first game is still in rain delay. we'll see what happens.
I know it's East Coast people, but I'd have to imagine people would have had the same thing come up. Also, it's very strange to have. I mean, I don't remember the last time there was an 11 a.m. baseball game that wasn't.
Yeah, we legitimately have no excuse, by the way.
What do you mean?
As a matter of fact,
what?
They already have the percent picked already released. Six people, including stupid Eric and stupid Bobby, did not pick. Only six.
Well, in all fairness, I honestly didn't know that was the rule. Like I honestly didn't know. I just thought it was Monday at noon. I really had it stuck in my head as that.
Yeah.
Partly because there were no baseball games played before then.
Well, nonetheless, we'll see what they respond. I doubt.
Can we try to get our pick in the other pool?
No, we should be okay here. Let's just leave it.
Then we should definitely pick Cleveland in the other pool, by the way.
Let's see. Picks. Picks. My picks. 19 per week.
Somebody every week picks the Dodgers, it seems like, no matter what.
Let's see on picks. My picks. Week 3, 7 p.m. All right. So who do we want? Cleveland here?
I think we want well, looking at the ownership, I think we want Cleveland.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Considering we felt better about them anyway to start off with.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. That was a little tilting. So you saw us prove that I'm stupid, like literally live for everybody.
No, I'll take it too, because I should have figured that out, but I just didn't think it literally just didn't register to me. I actually just didn't even know if this, like, I honestly probably should have started off by does this game even count because of the makeup game? Does it count as the weekly game? Like, I just didn't even think about it. Oh boy. So new plan is if for any reason they let us have it, and if we just keep going to the other one, maybe we start at 10:45 Eastern on Monday morning.
Good idea.
That's just to be safe. Or we put in a temporary lock or something.
Good idea. All right. So we'll see you at I guess I'll see you at 12 for baseball.
Yeah, I'll be ready whenever you are.
Okay, I can be ready in like 10 minutes. Whatever.
All right. Yeah. I'll be in here. So that sounds good.
Okay, 11:30.